Wow. Okay, so let me start over. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Product Overview with the Wellness Experts. And I am Dr. Betty Smith. I am the medical director of Akana. I am an Emerald director. I am an Akana wellness certified wellness coach, a founding member, and a proud member of the Medical Advisory Board. So tonight we are blessed to have a special guest. His name is, oh, fiddlesticks. His name is Michael Metta, and he is, hold on, what happened to the picture? There he is. Okay, so he is a messenger of the All High. So Mike Metta is an old soul and a messenger of the Most High. Years ago, he was actually affected by technology, EMFs and all of the assaults that we that we are experiencing ourselves, as well as abuse, air pollution, and a bad diet, which all helped him to change his lifestyle and encouraged him to study herbal foods, EMF safety, and environmental safety, and to help to bring solutions to those that have an ear, that want to know about these things and are willing to put themselves out there and take in some of this information and utilize it. So without further ado, let me introduce Mike Metta. And Mike, why don't you take it away?
All right, thank you. Thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. I appreciate you guys having me here tonight. How is everyone doing tonight? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, how's everyone in the new year? Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New
Back
Year.
at you now. Happy New Year.
All right, all right. And how's those diets going out there? Have you guys been keeping safe from getting sick and all that good stuff?
Yes, and the diets are going well.
Yes,
Good,
we're doing well.
Thank
good,
you.
good. Yeah, for me, just a little bit of background for me. In 2020, uh, um, my health issues. I, when I was going to the doctor, they were saying that I was fine. Everything looked good, but I was still having chest pains. I would lose my breath at times when I'm at work. I started getting headaches. I started having sleep problems. I wasn't getting enough good sleep. Um, and then when the pandemic kind of started, we went on lockdown. I found myself sleeping longer, longer hours. Wake up, go right back to sleep, and then after that, I wasn't breathing in my sleep. So I would go to the doctor, and they couldn't find anything. Um, One person at the emergency room finally told me that my potassium was low. And then that kind of sent me on a search to figure out what makes your potassium low. And then one of my friends told me to take my cell phones, Wi-Fi out of the room, TV, everything, because I wasn't getting sleep. He said, take that out the room. Let me know if you get some sleep. Um, and I let him know next morning. I let him know what was going on. I got some sleep, actually, really good sleep. And then from that point on, I started doing the research to figure out what was really going on, because I haven't been sick none this pandemic as far as like a respiratory virus or anything like that. The only thing that I've been getting is a lot of air pollution that I've been dealing with that'll make my nose run, um, that'll make me have, um, I would say, muscle spasms at times, sometimes maybe a slight headache depending on how much air pollution we're dealing with. But that's pretty much been it for me. And that led me down to research to really get a good understanding of what we're dealing with so I can be able to help people out without having to spend tons of money here, tons of money there. I've changed my diet. That was the first. That was the first thing I did in 2020 was to stop eating, change my diet. Um, the first thing I started eating was bell peppers, zucchinis, onions. Put them all into like a little pan, put it in the oven. That was just kind of like my first meal for the month, like for my first month, dealing with fruits, going to do shopping, pick fruits and things of that nature. And that first month, I lost about maybe 20 pounds in just a lot of waste. Um, I started getting more energy, but I still was not able to be around LED lights, um, cell towers, or a lot of cell phones, a lot of activity. So I kind of started to isolate myself just a bit. Um, but one thing that's about me is I'm a strong soul. So me staying isolated was not in my vocabulary at all. It was just not in me to be isolated. I'm like, that's not me. I like to get out. I like to venture out. I like to see things. I like to be in new places. Um, and I didn't want to lose that normalcy within my life. So that started the repair of what I need to do to live and exist with technology to where it's not affecting me and help my body also heal at the same time, and to see if I can be able to help others understand what they might be going through and what they might be experiencing, because frequency flows through all of us. We also give off frequency, but that very high frequency goes through us. And if we're not aware on how to balance our bodies, then and balance the technology and balance our day-to-day living with all the toxins that we're dealing with, then that's when we start having health problems. So the first thing that I started doing was searching for like cell towers and getting an understanding of what they do, studying the what does they call it, the electromagnetic fields. Because you might go online, you might research, well, what does cell towers do to you? You might research what a cell phone do to you, but most of the time it's not within that language. You want to research, what does EMF do to the human body? What does EMF do to these chemicals? What does EMF is? It goes by frequency. So right here, if you see the screen right here, I have antenna search pulled up. This is one of the sites that helps you see if you have cell towers in your area. I usually use two sites. Antenna search is one. And as you see right here, I do have an address pulled up. And in this area right here, and you can look this up on your system as well, even on your cell phone. And the best way to do that is to see what register towers here. It's going to have register towers in this area here. You have antennas, and then there's unregistered towers too. So you do have to scroll down to see what's close in your area. So as you see the area right here, we have an unregistered tower. Well, no, that's a multiple antenna. I just seen that. Sorry about that. I thought it should have registered towers somewhere around here. Yeah, they send you through a lot on this one here. I might not have none in this area. Multiple antennas. Oh, here we go. I passed it up. So unregistered towers, and then your registered towers. In this area, if it's not that close to you, like this is a 0.8, usually like a 0.5 or less. That'll be very close. I was just asking one of my clients that I was talking to yesterday. I do dreadlocks, by the way, and this client here, she's having depression issues, very hard to lose weight. She's on medication for she may have a little schizophrenia here and there. Um, she's kind of went through it throughout her lifetime, and I just asked her before I even got on the call, was it a cell tower close to the area? And that's what happens when you kind of hit the wrong thing. You can click this check mark here, and that'll get rid of the antennas in this area. So I'm gonna go this route because my shop is located right here. All right. There's a cell tower literally. Okay, so I'm here and the cell tower is on this church here. But as you see on the screen here, you're not going to see it on
I got to put the number on it, I mean this.
okay. Want to make sure if I can see this coming up here. No, I can't see a cell tower. Okay, so I'm here, the cell tower is here, but it doesn't show on this screen. So this is, in this case here, I will go to Cell Mapper. Now with Cell Mapper, this one is a little more difficult. It can be in a sense. So let me just kind of try to help you guys out here with this one. With the cellmapper.net, you want to go to provider. Just pick T-Mobile. T-Mobile is the largest provider of the cell towers. And you can go in and pick Verizon, and you can go in and pick AT&T. But with this map, you have to do it by, make sure it's by United States of America. So that's your Verizon, and it's only on 4G Lite right now. They have not updated this site for any 5G, so I don't even know if we're even really in 5G at this moment. But we're gonna go back to T-Mobile because they actually have. And T-Mobile, I had to pull it up by USA T-Mobile. Makes it a lot easier to pull it up that way. And then you go down to the search, and that's where you will put your address in for the search, and it'll pull everything up that's in the area. This will let you see not only the cell towers, but the mini towers here. And you see these little green dots on the streets that's your street lights. So it shows you everything that is connected to. All right, so now we're gonna go back over to where my shop is located, which is.
Mike, can you please repeat the cell mapper dot what?
.net.
.net. Okay, I'm putting that in the chat.
Yes, cellmapper.net. You want to pick your provider. Well, pick T-Mobile as the provider, T-Mobile USA. And then you would do a search for your address in that area just by clicking the search and putting your address here in the location, and then hit enter, and that'll bring up what's in your area. Now, as we've seen on the antenna search, we didn't see a cell tower across the street from the shop. This is the shop that I'm at here. And now we can actually see the cell tower. And when you click on that, it shows you where the beams are going for the cell towers. You can always click on each one. I think there's one on 43rd. It's really big, this one here. And this basically just kind of shows you where it shoots the beams out and where it's located. These are the two maps that I use all the time when I need to find a location, whether it's by a client's house or something like that of that nature. Because most of the people that I talk to is my clients who I'm working with on a day-to-day basis. If they find out if they have any health issues, we first start working in that area. And then if they're having headaches, fatigue all the time and things of that nature, then we start going within the household. And the first thing that I usually tell everyone is to not sleep near your cell phone. If you need it on, put it either in another room if you can. If not, put it across the room from you. There is protection fabric that I do sell, and that can help cover it up for the night as well. You can use that. You can kind of create something to like a cover barrier or like a little Faraday cage or a box or something like that to put it in. You can definitely use that. And let's see. Let's get to the other screen here. Also, if you have Wi-Fi, I used to have Wi-Fi in the bedroom. I used to have my TV going, my game. I used to have a game. I used to have a TV. I sold the TV, sold the game, and I stopped sleeping with both of my cell phones, which was in my bed with me at the time. And that was causing me lots of pain. It was causing my hands to lock up at work. That year I was dealing with a problem with my forearm. I couldn't bowl that year, beginning of that year. All of that changed after I changed my diet. And that was just starting off with just changing what I ate, leaving that alone. And then I started getting into the herbs to cleanse the body, detoxing at least twice, 3 times a year. Actually kind of in a detox right now. And I do want to play for you guys is one of the videos that was quite alarming to me, and the things that we can help people with out here and bring us solutions is first we have to understand the problems and what we're dealing with to understand that this is real. And this is one of the scientists here, which his name is Barry Trower. This is about a 4-minute video. I do have other videos that is on my YouTube page. My YouTube page is 369 News TV. What I'll probably do is release one of my playlists that'll kind of give you some of the information on the cell phones. But we are dealing with a combination of things, not just the cell phone frequency, that you can consider that like an air pollution, electronic air pollution. So we're dealing with dirty electricity from your LED lights. We're dealing with the Wi-Fi, of course, your cell phone, Bluetooth, wireless home phones. So just to get an understanding of that, the wireless home phones, that started with us back in the 90s. I'm 46 now. So I was on a wireless home phone all the time, talking, conversating for long periods of time. I did not understand that that was affecting my brain. None of us did. And it also emitted frequency throughout our home, even while we were sleeping. So when you're sleeping, your body is absorbing and is trying to repair. So when we have this stuff around us, it's not in the repair mode, it's still in flight or flight mode because it's trying to fight off the oxidative stress that the frequency is causing. And if you remember Dr. Eric Prince talks about oxidative stress all the time. That is the leading cause to all diseases, oxidative stress. So when we understand to balance our oxidative stress, then we can go out here and be able to live a healthier life and still be able to deal with technology. Like even right now, I got two laptops around me right now and two cell phones sitting around me right now. Back in 2020, I wasn't able to handle that. It would give me a headache immediately. So I'm saying that is to let you know that the body is able to heal itself if we give it the proper nutrients and the proper foods to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get this video started right here.
I think anyone who puts Wi-Fi into a school should be locked up for the rest of their life. I really do. I think they're not fit to walk on the surface of this planet because they haven't looked at the research, and whatever incentive they have, it is not worth the genetic problems that parents are going to face with their children when they're born. And if you think of a single parent, a mother, who has a genetically deformed child, that particular mother will feel guilty because she gave birth. She will feel guilty and she will be worried every single second of every single day for her life. She will worry that the child won't marry. If the child can marry, she'll worry that the children will carry the disease, which they will. She will worry when she dies, who will take care of them. So you are condemning both the family and the children to a lifetime of absolute hell. And this is already published. It is available to look up. It's what I call intentional ignorance. They are offered some sort of incentive and they think, oh, this is going to be good, we'll have it. Now, the problem is, imagine you are a 15-year-old schoolgirl. All of the 400,000 eggs in your ovaries were with you at birth. They're not fully developed, but they're with you. They are 10 times more susceptible to radiation than all of the other DNA in the body. And scientists don't realize that. They don't read all of the papers as I do. So you have this highly susceptible genetic material which is going to make your children. And you are irradiating it because Wi-Fi's, they are transmitters as well as the routers, as well as the ones either side of you. They are all transmitting at this height through your ovaries. So you are risking the damage, the DNA damage of your child every time you sit down and you use Wi-Fi. And it's like saying, if I smoke a cigarette, which one will cause the damage? The answer is, I don't know. It could be the one today. So you now have a child that has a probability of being genetically damaged. But the real damage is when that child grows up. You have genetic material in your ovaries which could be damaged. Now, the real problem comes, so you have a child that could be born genetically damaged, but the real problem comes when you become pregnant. If you are a teacher or a mature student and you become pregnant, because the embryo inside your womb, in the first 100 days, all of those.
Okay, that was that's it for that 4-minute video there. All right, this guy here, he used to be in the Royal Navy, which is one of the top navies out there, and he was a a bioweapons expert as well. So he pretty much knew or knows everything that they how to deal with radiation. Now, when he said that to me, and then from 2020 up until now, with the amount of women that I spoke with, majority of women are dealing with fibroids, something with their ovaries, ovary cancer. Um, I'm hearing this in young adults. Like one of the persons that I trained as a loctician, she was dealing with it. I don't know if she's still dealing with it now. I haven't asked her lately, but she's only 25, and she's been dealing with it since her teens. So this was already letting me know that what he was talking about is already happening, because the new children are raised within technology. And my children were raised in technology. And I see some, I'm sorry, go ahead. Somebody want to say something?
Sorry.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Um, yeah, my children were grew up in technology. And I see some of the effects with them as well. Their attention span. This is where we started getting a lot of ADHD. Was with this problem right here with the frequencies within the school, frequencies from the fluorescent lights, heavy metals in our foods. Heavy metals is a major cause that attaches right to our central nervous system. So that's why detoxing and ridding the body of heavy metals and toxins is extremely important for everybody, every single body, because these frequencies attach to that and they activate those heavy metals. And that also causes a problem within us, a diseasement within us. And not only that, we're dealing with bacteria that the frequencies can cause bacteria to grow. So I just actually was looking for that, which was E. coli. E. coli. It can cause the E. coli in your colon to grow. So I've been telling young adults to keep their phone in their back pockets. Don't put that in your back pocket, because it'll cause the E. coli to grow from the colon and spread throughout the body. And it will eventually, over time, the time period, it starts to turn cancerous. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys have heard that colon cancer is rising. Heart problems are rising. People putting their cell phones in their breasts, in their bras. Heavy metals in your deodorant, heavy metals in your toothpaste, heavy metals in candy. They use titanium as a whitener in our foods, in our cosmetic products, shampoos, anything that has heavy metals in it, titanium to aluminum. That's the stuff that we have to stop using. Get to a more natural type of environment. We don't need titanium in our soaps. Like, who really washes up with heavy metal? You have to also learn about getting, as a solution, shower filters. That's one of my biggest that helped me a lot too. Getting a shower filter or a filter for your entire home. So if you are a homeowner, I would definitely encourage you getting a filter for the entire home to filter your water throughout the house. So let's kind of get on the solution side of this, because I can go on and on and on about what it does to you, but the best thing that we need to do right now is work on solution, getting our health together, and making sure we stay balanced. So first things again, we're doing the shower filter or a filter for your entire home. We have a shower filter and we have a filter for the kitchen sink. And For me, I changed the LED lights where I'm at. It's very hard to find incandescent bulbs. So if you can't find it, and they are getting expensive right now too. If you can't find it, then the best thing to do is try to balance your time that you are around LED lights, because that frequency does it can affect you in the long run. But my suggestion with that is, if you're really kind of staying away from or balancing yourself with the technology, you should be able to handle the LED lights without having to have a lot of restrictions on that. So with that being said, the best thing is not sleeping around your technology, because your body needs to repair. All right. So what I usually do is my phone at night goes on airplane mode every single night. Let me see if you guys can see me here. Okay. Every single night, if you're an iPhone user, goes on airplane mode every single night. All the other buttons have to be black on your phone when you put it on airplane mode. So making sure your Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth is shut off. That's the most easiest and less cost effective, where you're not spending all this money to put stickers on the back of your phone. I do use a piece of the fabric. Where's my fabric here? I use a piece of that. I put it in the back of my phone. So I don't really use a sticker on the back of my phone. That way I'm able to hold the phone in my hand. When I am out and about, I will usually have my phone in my hand. If I do need to put it in my pocket for a long period of time, that's when I put it on airplane mode. I might miss some calls. Hopefully it's nothing important. If it's an important call, I usually try to keep it out of my pocket, but I no longer keep my cell phone in my pocket. No longer. Not for long periods of time. If I'm getting out and going to the store, that's something a little different. If I'm watching my area or something like that and I want to put my, cell phone in my pocket, that's something simple. If it's real quick, easy, that's something simple. But going forward, no putting your cell phone in your pocket for long periods of time. Definitely not in your back pocket. If this will cause you to have a central nervous condition in your spine, which means you will have back pains, things of that nature. You might even have neck pains. You might have heart palpitations. Let me kind of pull up a list so you guys can see. Real quick. All right, this is one of the, hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, good. Can you guys see that really good? All right, so now these are some of the symptoms, or this is pretty much a majority of the symptoms over time that you might start receiving and not realizing that it's coming from having a lot of this technology around you, or you might be staying next to a cell tower. Staying next to a cell tower is it is a big concern, but the biggest concern is what you have within your home. Cell towers can also cause tinnitus. So if you are experiencing ear ringing and things of that nature, you might want to look around you or around the place where you work. You might be experiencing that from cell towers, or it might be another medical condition that you might be dealing with. And keep in mind, I am not a medical professional. I just experienced this thing and started studying this information. so I can be able to help my family and friends and people that want to actually hear this message. I was having headaches. I had dizziness, nauseated sometimes. I even vomited sometimes. This was before I even understood what was going on. This was around 2018, 19 was when I was started having these problems. Chest pains I was having, the shortness of breath. They call it panic attacks. I had anxiety. They called it either anxiety or panic attacks. I had skin burning sensation, itchy skin, rashes, electromagnetic sensitivity. I've pretty much had a lot of this on this list, except pneumonia. I didn't have pneumonia or anything like that. Altered sugar metabolism. This is like pre-diabetic right here. It can also mess around with your insulin because you got to remember the frequency, it attacks your central nervous system. Your central nervous system controls everything in your body. That's everything. That's your control system. So it can make anything go off, and you might think that, oh man, I'm having joint pain or I'm having this type of pain. It can trigger some of anything within your body straight through your central nervous system. And then you have heavy metals. If you're high in heavy metals, it can cause all types of issues. And you would be going to the doctor, and if you're not letting the doctor know your habits, whether you're sleeping with your technology, whether you're eating things that can consist of a lot of heavy metals, you might be getting air pollution somewhere. If you're not letting the doctor know these type of things because you don't know, all they're going to do is try to help you to the best of their abilities. So at first I was saying, the doctor's this, the doctor's that, but I had to realize that the doctors are here to help you, but you have to let them know your bad habits that you might be doing and be real with your doctor so your doctor can be able to help you properly. And then you can also ask, like I've asked my doctor, what natural ways that I can do to help heal myself. And they might send you to someone, maybe a friend that they may know that can possibly help you. Or again, we are all here with the Kana, and we are moving into that direction where we'll be able to help people. I definitely dealt with enlarged thyroid. This is when I was having a problem on the expressway. And what I did with that to help that issue was change my diet. A lot of these issues went away, eye twitching, changing my diet, understanding what's going on. At that time in 2020, I was not wearing a mask. Fast forward to now, knowing that they're injecting things into the sky to make it rain and to make it snow, I put my mask on now when I'm outside. So, and I encourage everyone, when you go outside, put your mask on every single time, because you never know when they're putting a lot of nitrogen in the air. You never know when there's a lot of sulfur in the air. There is an app that shows you that on your phone. If you're an iPhone user, just go to your weather app. If you're an Android user, you can go to your weather app too, and look for your air quality on your weather app. Let's see if I can get pick that up. Scroll up and go to your air quality. Maybe I should have just did this on my cell phone so you guys could have seen it. And go to your air quality on your cell phone. They'll show you an interactive map here, and it'll show you the air quality in your area. Right now it's saying 38 good, but you can always scroll down and it'll give you a link that'll send you into what the air quality, what types of air quality that we're dealing with. and how long it's been in the air. So I can
Excuse
tell you
me,
right now,
I can't. Are we seeing another chart? Because I'm still seeing the symptoms of electromagnetic microwave illnesses.
you know what? Let me see if I can, give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and log in through my phone.
While you're looking for that, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Is there something that you could put around your the Wi-Fi box? Because our Wi-Fi is in a basement. Fortunately, it's in a basement. But I
Mhm.
realize it sits on the table where my son plays his video games
Mm-hmm.
and where my husband is doing paperwork or whatever on his computer. So is this something you could like put around it to block off any of the frequencies that it's letting off?
Yeah. Yep. I use the fabric right here. Well, if you can look on my camera,
Mm-hmm.
I use this fabric right here, and I actually have the Wi-Fi box upstairs covered up where my mother works at.
Okay, what kind of fabric is that?
This
Is
is
it
a
a special fabric?
yeah,
It's Faraday fabric.
yep, it's a
It's
Faraday
in,
fabric.
yeah, I put it in the chat, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Faraday fabric. You can get it at Amazon.
Yep, Amazon.
Amazon. Yep.
I also have a link that you guys can get it from, or you can get it directly from me as well.
Mhm.
It's made of 100% pure silver, and it's mixture with I think either nylon. Some of it might be mixed with nylon and cotton as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Mike,
Can I ask a question? Oh,
one minute,
I
one
think
minute,
we can
one
wait.
minute. Let me ask, Mike, can you give me that 369 link again that you mentioned?
The 369,
Yeah, what was that?
369 News TV.
News, News TV?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is that a website or what?
That is on my YouTube.
Okay,
Yep.
your YouTube. Okay.
Yep.
So they could just put in 369 News TV and it'll take it right to your website.
Yep, right to my YouTube, to my
YouTube.
Facebook. It's on my Facebook as well.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks.
And
So, Mike, this is Terry. I just wanted to ask, I've been studying this EMF also for a long time. What do you feel about orgonite, hematite, pyrite, black tourmaline, and shungite?
black tourmaline definitely helped me in 2020 when I was dealing with the shortness of breath. Whenever I would drive through the loop, I was experiencing shortness of breath and dizziness and numbness. That helped with the shortness of breath. Um, it does help in protection, um, but it's not effective when you're sleeping at night. You want to make sure you do have it off. So when you are awake, if you have it like in your pocket and things like that, it will help with that. But as far as like on a major scale, it won't help in those particular areas.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I have a question.
go ahead.
The fabric, what's the percentage? I mean, how much does it actually block out those rays using the fabric you have that's and the one that we can get or what have you? The one you just mentioned.
The fabric, it blocks it out. I'm gonna say at least a good 90%, maybe 95.
Oh, good. Okay.
It works very good. I only notice it that if it's like near something like really strong, it will kind of shoot the signal through it. that's the only thing I've experienced from it so far.
Mike, this is Terry again. I want to say that I bought the fabric from you, and
Uh-huh.
whenever I use the fabric, because I do a lot of meditation, and I wrap my phone up in the fabric, it shuts the meditation off,
Yeah,
and it sometimes shut off my phone calls.
exactly. It will shut it down.
Love it, love it. So, what do you think about which I was already saying before today, last couple of weeks, last couple of months, actually? I'm going to stop wearing earbuds and stuff like that because I just kept feeling like all that stuff was going to be going to my brain, which it is going to your brain and maybe other parts of your body. Just letting that come in like cell phones, headbutt. I mean, like the earphones, all those things that we use to, that we use. Period.
Yes. Yeah, I would definitely recommend to find out better alternatives. Um, I use the wired headphones right now, but there is another headphones that they have out there, which is called air tubes. So all the wiring mechanism is down by the base of the phone, and it's basically shooting the sound up through the tube.
Air tubes, ARTUBES.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah. And I don't really care for the wired ones, but I can't handle the AirPods. I'm not for sure about like the Beats headphones or anything like that, but I know for sure I cannot handle AirPods. About 20 minutes in with the AirPods in my ear, it caused a massive headache. And
Mike,
uh-huh.
I'm sorry, have you ever used the bone conduction headsets?
No, no, I haven't. What's
Okay.
those?
So they are the headphones that fit around your ear, but they don't go in your ear. They sit on the bone just
Oh, yeah.
of your, yeah.
I've seen
Because
those.
yeah, I have earbuds, and I also have the bone conduction uh headsets. And I find that when I use the earbuds, I can feel the frequency. I can feel the vibration or the energy.
Yeah.
I can feel it. And so I've literally had to stop using them.
Is
And so I basically use the bone conduction earphones now, and I have not experienced that. I'm sure there's still some transmission, but it definitely is not as serious as as what I felt with the ear pods
Mm-hmm.
or earbuds that go directly in my ear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what I would suggest is that if you're not on a call,
Mm-hmm.
just take them out your ear.
Exactly.
Only use them if you're going to be on the call, and make sure it's like a quick call or something. It shouldn't be used for like an hour long call, or it shouldn't be used no more than like maybe 5 minutes, maybe at the most.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Betty, where'd you? Because I was just looking at some ear bones around Christmas time
I
or
got,
Thanksgiving, whatever it was.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely.
And the same thing for the smartwatches too. The smartwatches.
Mhm.
So I go by experience on everything. So I was watching a client. She came in, and usually when people come to me, it's because they're sent to me. They're sent to me for me to help them with something. And this particular client, she came in, and I noticed that she started sneezing. And I noticed the sneeze every time I hear it. It's a constant sneeze. It's back to back. And I'm looking, I'm like, and I'm just observing her. And I see she had an Apple Watch on, and she's in technology. She's had to be like maybe about 65 or something like that. And so she sat in my chair. The first thing I let her know is, if you want to stop the sneezing, you got to take that watch off. And she did it. And I said, give it about 20, 30 minutes. All of that's going to go away. And it did. And ever since then, she stopped wearing the watch. And I asked her, I said, well, what are you doing at home? Like, what do you have at home? And she's like, my husband is a tech guy, and he just put up TVs and everything everywhere. And I was like, well, when did this problem start occurring where she was having, coughing and fatigue sometimes here and there? She was like, well, it started occurring once we kind of got into their home and he started putting TVs up. So we started associating and lining things up where she got the TVs where they have it in every room. They have all this technology going on, and she find herself coughing and trying to leave one room and go to the next. So now she brought that to her husband, and fast forward to now, they made adjustments and she's doing a lot better. She's not having that sneezing or that dry coughing that everybody is dealing with. And that's just making this simple change of habits, because we weren't taught how to use this technology. They just put it out there. They make it look pretty, make it look fine. It's, oh my God, I can have a watch I can talk on, and it's a lot. And we are energy beings. We have to understand that we have to learn how to balance our energy. And sometimes too much energy can be fatal to us. So if we're not balancing that energy where we're getting a proper balance of sleep, where that energy is not on around us, even getting into hardwiring your internet service, whether it's using the Ethernet wired directly into your laptop or computer. Going back into some of the old things that we used to do versus having the Wi-Fi in the home. So some of these suggestions and solutions can, we can make that happen. But first is just getting it out there to our loved ones, our friends and family, so they can understand that this is what's happening. And it's very hard to get it to the young people. It's extremely hard to get it to young people. I've talked to my children over and over. My oldest is the only one that's finally starting to listen. The other two, I'm still working on. We have any other questions?
I have a question. I looked on Amazon. Is that the military grade fabric? Barday?
Let me see. Yeah, so you can get it off Amazon. This is one of them right here. Can you guys able to see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Yep. And this is the store I actually bought the first. This is where this come from that I was showing in the video. Came directly from this store. So you can always click on visiting the store, and then it'll show you a lot more items that they have. They have shirts that they make, underwear. Like we're still in the beginning stages of this right here, of the protection of this.
On the left side?
We have the opportunity to create products that'll help protect us
I must went on.
many different ways. So right now, if you see in my video, I'm wearing a EMF hat.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I hate wearing this hat. I hate wearing hats. I have some very nice hair that I like people to see. So I hate wearing this hat, but it helps me a lot because I work in a shop where we have over 150 LED lights. And we have fluorescent lights. And the glasses that I have on now has blue light protection on it. So that helps me out even more. The hat helps me with brain fog. If I take this off, giving me about 2 or 3 days. I will have brain fog. I will be irritated. I will have mood swings. I just won't feel myself. And the mood swings are basically because I know better and I'll be faulting myself for not putting my hat on. And a lot of people are experiencing this, but they don't understand why they are experiencing this. Brain fog is just the early stage that the doctors might say is an early stage of dementia or Alzheimer's. So I am detoxing, and I'm going into a long detox now to clear up anything that might be on the left side of the brain that I'm dealing with, because I get a lot of throbbing, and I've had weakness on my left side since I was a child, actually. For my left eye was weak. I wore glasses, prescription glasses, and my left eye was always weak in that area. Fast forward to now, what I've been dealing with is whenever the chemicals hit, it hits my left side and causes my left nostril to become inflamed, and my left eye will start itching, get really irritated, and I won't be able to take light, LED light, any type of light at that point. I will have to basically close off my left eye just to stop my nostril from mucus. Just not really mucus, it's more like a white type of matter or something, because it's clear and it just gets to running. My nose don't get stopped up or anything of that unless it gets really bad and I've ingested too much chemicals through my nose. And that's another important thing, is learning to breathe through your nose versus your mouth. If you learn to breathe through your nose, that will stop a lot of the lung infections that people are having. Many people are mouth breathers, and when they go outside, they're ingesting chemicals and bacteria. It hits the throat, get into the lungs, and it's just a constant. They have all these other things going on, technology, that induces it. They go to work, they're around it, they got their technology on them all day. They never give the body a rest, and then boom, they're sick. Now,
Hey, excuse me, I don't want to really cut you off, but I'm understanding when I take a call on my cell phone, I find that I cannot hold it close to my face. It feels, first of all, it feels very warm, and then it feels like it's clogging up my ear.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm listening to you, and I'm actually getting an understanding, because I can only talk on that phone if I put it on speaker. Otherwise, I cannot put it close enough to my face. The heat is there, it will burn, and then it's like it's clogging up my ear.
Exactly. And see, that just goes to show that we are all experiencing the symptoms of having this technology around us for a very long time. This goes back again to the wireless home phones. This is when it started. Right now, it's coming up to a period where everything is going to start butting heads, and we're going to start having a major reaction to it. And that's what they thought was going to happen in 2020. Because they've known this before they started releasing these wireless home phones and making the cell phones. They've already known what the frequency would do to the body, and they've already known the limits that the body can take. They know what frequencies can affect which organs. And when you start doing the research, you start seeing the scientific data that's out there on this information. So the government, the scientists know this. The head scientists of the CDC knows this. All of them know this information. We don't know it. So it's best for us to start talking amongst each other and getting a better understanding of this, so we can learn how to balance ourselves and get our health in order. When we get our health in order, then we can start tackling and putting regulations on a lot of other things out here. Because I'm going for free healthcare. I don't know about you guys out here. I'm going for free healthcare.
Hello, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm looking at the title above the symptoms of electromagnetic, and the word microwave kind of throws me off. So I'm just wondering if I'm trying to explain what we're talking about to someone, how can I relate word microwave to an explanation of what we're talking about?
Okay, that's a great question. Great question. Um, the actual microwave ovens were created because of the radiation it uses to heat up the food, to cook the food. So the word microwaves is basically what it's doing is it's sending micro electromagnetic energy or frequencies in a wave form. So they just call it microwaves. Um, the best way to put it is use the word frequencies.
Okay. So really the microwave was really the foundation of the issues that we're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So, Michael, I have a question
Uh-huh.
or rather a statement. In the early 90s, I want to say 89, there was a gentleman that came out with a book that I bought. I don't have it in front of me because I didn't think about it till you started talking about it. And he was saying then that these waves were going to be a problem. The microwaves, the cell phones, all of that was going to cause a lot of illness and sickness. And a lot of the cell phone companies and some of the other institutions blew him off.
Yeah.
And they told everybody, no, that's not true. The phone is safe and all of that. All these things were happening back then. I mean, actually, even before that, because with microwaves, it's it's another bad source of even us preparing food. We
Yeah,
shouldn't even be using the microwave to do anything.
I agree.
And it's all of those things. But what they did, or what I feel that they've done to us, is that they've made us addicted to all of this. We have chosen to use it because you don't physically see the dangers and the poisons that are going through us. So the cell phone, everybody's hooked on a cell phone. I shouldn't say everybody, but a great percentage of people we're all hooked on the cell phone.
We are.
So now, how do you get off? How do you get that? How do you stop that? You don't. And especially with the kids nowadays, it is very difficult. So and
It is.
the other thing I wanted to ask you is, what did you think of the AP? Is it the APK? The badges, the stickers that you can put on the phones that they've advertised that it does help block some of the frequencies.
To be honest with you, I haven't practiced with those. Me personally, I don't believe in them.
Okay.
That's just personally my personal opinion. I mean, some people say that they feel a difference or whatnot. I haven't tested it. I did want to test. One place I do want to try out is Aries Tech. Let me kind of pull those up.
Oh, okay.
So,
I've seen that.
yeah, this Life Tune device. I want to try this one out to see if it actually really helps. But as you see, when you start diving into this field, it really becomes really expensive.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
So I have had other or what's it called, Organite on the back of my phone. I've had that before, and it wasn't helping me when I was sleeping.
Okay.
So but as far as like doing it, I stopped putting my cell phone in my pocket. So I really didn't need it on the back of my phone for that. But it definitely did not help when I was sleeping. And
Yeah.
that's the problem that those stickers on the back of the phone is going to cause people, because they're going to think that it's helping them when they're sleeping, when it's not.
It's
The phone
not.
will
Yeah.
go off.
Just like you said, or with like other people we've been talking the discussion about earbuds, not just earbuds, but the phone extending piece that you put in your ear and back with. I don't know if you knew who Johnny Cochran was, but
Yes.
when he died,
Preach.
they stated that they said that, oh, that was the reason, was because of this radiation.
Yep.
And there was another gentleman that I worked with that he constantly had that in his ear, and I used to tell him, "Don't. It's dangerous. It'll kill you. You know, take that out of your ear at least sometimes," because he worked at a job where he needed to be in communication all the time. And so it was convenient, and he ended up dying of a brain tumor.
Look at Steve Jobs.
Yep. Yep.
Brain tumor. The guy that they named Hertz, the megahertz Hertz for the frequency, the guy that they named after that, he died in his 30s from a brain aneurysm. This was back in the 1800s, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yep.
is just them dealing with frequency like they didn't know at that particular time.
Right.
But yeah, they even said Johnny Cochran had a print of a cell phone on his face when he died.
Yeah. It's a lot of information that they have buried for various and obvious reasons in respect to the whole cell phone thing. But I'm glad that you're discussing it. I'm glad that you're bringing it, back to us, so that we need to share it. We especially need to get that microwave out of our kitchen.
Mm-hmm. I can't stop talking about this.
Yeah.
Like this was my mission that I was sent here to do in life. And when I tell you, when it cut on, I was like, I tell people, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't stop talking about it. It's when I see somebody with a symptom, that's the first thing that come up to my mind. Like I was
Yeah.
in Arizona, and I was sitting at True Food eating, and I hearing the lady, she was like, "No, the most funniest thing happened on the golf course today is that my eyes started itching really bad, and my nose just got to running, like it just wouldn't stop."
Mhm.
And the first thing I said to her, I was like, "There's air quality was bad earlier, and there was a lot of nitrogen in the air."
Mhm.
And I showed her through the weather app, and she was like, "I never thought to look through that." I was like, "I didn't either until about 2 months ago." Literally, I just started paying attention to that more and going deeper into what it's telling us, because it shows you in real time when more chemicals are going to be in the air.
Mm.
I wish I can show you guys on that one, on this here. I do have a video where I recorded, and I can definitely send that to you guys. It's on my Facebook as well. It's on my YouTube as well.
Okay. So, does anybody else have any questions for Mike? This is Dr. Betty, and I want to actually share some of our products, excuse me, that have a significant effect on
increasing hospital admissions.
Hold on. I'm
And
sorry.
guess what? If it's long-term exposures, guess what happens to
Dr. Betty,
Thank
I
you
have
very
a-
much. Let me pull up
I
my
have one more
slide.
question too, Dr.
And
Betty.
I
Hold on,
want
hold
to
on.
Go ahead.
apologize.
Hold
and
on one moment. Hold on. Let's get
There we go.
this. Okay, Mike, if you could stop sharing your screen, unless you have something else you want to show us.
I was just trying to make sure I can find the video where I was doing the if it's not on here, I'll post it on my, I think it is this first one here, the part 1 attention all iPhone. Yeah, this one right here, you guys see the video, you guys go on that page and it'll show you how I'll walk you through how to use your app to look this information up, and then you just do it on a daily basis and see what's going on, and that way you can make sure you mask up when you're outside.
Mike, while I'm talking, can you please put your 365 news TV. I did put that one up, but could you also put up your Facebook?
On Facebook too.
Yeah, your Facebook. Yeah, so people can just really get into it. Can you put that in the chat? And I'm going to go and
Sure.
just talk a bit.
Dr. Betty, can I ask one quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Mike, I just want you to know that I want to get one of your hats. So we'll talk real soon.
Awesome.
And also, isn't there some kind of gadget? Because I met a young lady a
Yes.
couple of years ago that was with the EMF where you could like walk around the house and see where you have more radiation and EMF in your house. And do you, and I never learned how to use it properly, but do you know the name of it? Because it's something that, I think everybody at some time want to have in their home.
I can give you the name of the one that I use.
Okay.
I'll put that in the chat here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Can I ask about the shower filter? Was there a brand that you suggest and mask? What kind of mask do you use?
The mask that I use right now, I got that from Get Lambs, which is another EMF clothing.
Mm.
And I'll put that website in there too. It has the EMF fabric on the inside of it. I'm trying to see if I put it at. Oh, here we go. So this is the mask right here. So it has the silver on the inside of it. And they do have a filter that you can put on the inside of here. And it filters it out. And it's just basically a sleeve you put over your head. Or you can get the ones that you can wrap around your ear. An N95 mask would work great. Those are probably some of the best ones that's out there, to be honest with you. It's the N95.
And the shower filter?
The shower filter, that one I'm still working on. The one that I use, I got it from Fruitful Yield, which is a store by my house. I can't remember the brand off the top of my head, but that's just temporarily what I use for right now. I would suggest sticking somewhere around like in the mid-price range, something that's going to help catch like mercury, lead, arsenic, calcium carbonate. So you want something that's going to really pick up those type of fluoride in your water and stuff like that.
That is a quick question. Air fryers are very popular right now. Do they operate on the same principle as the microwave?
No.
Who, the air fryers?
Yeah.
It is radiated heat.
What?
Just that's blowed around. It is radiated heat.
Oh, wow.
It's not radiant heat, but radiated heat?
Radiant heat, but it's pretty much the same thing as radiated.
Oh,
But it's not heating it up the same way as a microwave did. So it is different from a microwave. It is. Is it better than a microwave? Yes, it is. Way better than a microwave.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, Mike, we want to thank you. You brought up some other issues that I think behooves us to bring forth, such as, excuse me, such as water quality. You mentioned the water, the shower filter.
Yes.
And that brings up the whole issue of the chlorine in the water, as well as the impurities that they can't filter out at the filtration plant. So those two are some things that we definitely need to discuss in our forums on Tuesday. So thank you so much. And so next, I would really like to just give show you guys some, hold on, let me get to my other device here. Let me find us, here we are. Shirley, I see you have your hand up. Is that an accident or do you have a question? No response? Okay, so I am going to share my screen just for a brief recap. Gonna put my sound on. Hold on, almost there. Okay, there we go. So I just kind of wanted to recap. This has been about EMFs or electromagnetic frequencies and self-help. So electromagnetic fields, they're generated by electrically charged objects. We're talking charged particles, magnetic fields, and in there we're talking about radio waves, we're talking about microwaves, we're talking about other fields that emit radiation and frequencies. The cell towers, the satellites. Mike mentioned the cordless phones that I'm sure we all have in our homes. I don't think there are many people that still have wired phones in their homes. We're talking about TVs, radios, all these kinds of computer monitors, and all manner of electronic equipment. All of those things emit energetic frequencies that have an effect on us. So when we talk about electronic environmental pollution, actually refers to the adverse impact on the environment and us caused by the proliferation of electronic devices and the associated electromagnetic fields or EMFs. This can result from the production, the use, and the disposal of electronic equipment. Hence, the importance of taking your old, outdated electronic equipment to specific sites for proper disposal of them. Many people just throw them out and throw them out in, the regular trash and that kind of things, and that is not appropriate. It definitely has an effect on us as beings, human, animals, and the environment. And so it is our responsibility that if we're going to use these things, then we need to use the proper protocol for disposal and that kind of thing. You can take things to what's the place? Best Buy. They have vehicles by where you can dispose of them. Then there are even some areas around the city where you can take such devices and leave them for proper disposal. So we have to be good stewards of our land and not just our personal bodies, because everything that we do affects everybody else. So where was I? Disposal of electronic equipment, also leading to issues such as electronic waste, energy consumption, and potential health concerns related to EMFs. So yeah, it underscores the need for sustainable practices in the electronics industry and awareness of the environmental consequences of technological advances. And this is where I think each of us has a responsibility to know what's going on in our environment and to have dialogue with our representatives so that they know what our desires are and that they can actually represent us in these matters, because corporate America, the companies, they don't really care, as can be seen. Mike mentioned, that for the longest we've been told that, oh, microwaves, they don't have much effect on you. Oh, cell phones don't have much effect on you. Oh, the ear pods, this, that, and the other. And now what, 20 years in, we're recognizing that they have been lying to us. And so it behooves us to pay attention and to do our own due diligence. That's part of self-care.
They have been lying to us. I want to say one thing. Don't mean to cut you off. Just want to say one thing.
No worries.
Make sure that if you have a TV in your bedroom, even if it's off, it is still on.
It's on.
It's still on. I learned by experience. I was turning my cell phones off. I plugged the Wi-Fi, but I would wake up and I'll feel off, and I would just be searching around the room, what it is, and that's when I got the meter, and I put it to the TV, and it seemed it was still sending frequency. I unplugged it, and you can feel the detachment from the TV when you unplug it. It's just like my cells in the body just went to a relaxed mode, and I was just like, I can't believe this is happening.
Dr. Betty, this is Terry. I just wanted to let you know, I don't know if you know, Dr. Roz is waiting to get on this line.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
since
So,
8 o'clock.
oh, no. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. So our products, detox is very, very important because our cells, our organs, our tissues all absorb these radioactive and electromagnetic frequencies, and definitely have an effect on them. So everybody needs to do the cleanse, like we said, and our cleanse is not just a detox, it's also a lifestyle change. So you're learning how to eat properly, how to change the trajectory of your health through your diet. Our aronia berry juice is top of the line, highest quality in terms of its antioxidant properties. It's 41,000 on the ORIC scale, which is higher than any other antioxidant food. So it deals with the oxidative stress that is caused. Our CBD products taken internally balance the endocannabinoid system, which balances all of the other systems in our body and allows them to work in their highest and most effective way. And last but not least, we don't have it yet, but it's on its way, our EE system, and the opening of our wellness center is imminent. And so, we have tools, we bring these things to everyone so that you can be aware, but we don't want to just talk about the problems. We recognize the problems, but we bring solutions. And so with that, the one thing I want to say about the EE system is all of these electromagnetic frequencies and the radiation unzip our DNA, damage our DNA, but the EE system repairs it. And so we'll have more about that in coming weeks. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for your attention. And thank you, Mike, for your expertise, your wisdom, and the information that you brought to us tonight.
Yes, thank you, Mike.
And I hope
that was great,
everyone was
Mike. Thank
able
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike.
That was good. Thank you. Good night,
Thank you
everybody.
so much.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good
Thanks.
night.
Thank you,
So
Terry,
much.
for inviting
Bye for
me.
now.
Good night, everyone. Good night, John Boy.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
There's another
Good
call
night.
coming up. There's another call, so stay tuned. Hang up and start over.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Thank you.
I think you can just stay on, can't you?
I thought so.
You don't have to go back off. It's the same one. You're going to get right
You-
back on.
You just stay on.